Hey everybody, welcome to the layout room. Uh, you probably know that I haven't done much posting on my layout on this YouTube channel for quite a while. It was last summer it was about this time last summer where I said I felt like I was losing my motivation, constantly comparing myself to the great channels we see here. And again, I'm not trying to take anything away from those channels. There's some great people out there. You know, your Vinnies, Roy in Panama, Steve Brown, Colin Sullivan up there in Minneapolis, also Sparky, Mr. Schoolkill. I mean, the list goes on. Ray Bobel. There's been a lot of great modelers, a lot of great YouTubers out there. Also Ron Strains and Things. We're a community, a lot of great people out there. Even Heath has managed not to break much lately. He's been doing a really great job. Again, Nathan, a lot of great guys out there. Tom's Trains and Things. It's just, like I said, there's so many great channels out there. I can't keep up. And if you notice, I've been mostly absent from the channel. Sorry about my wiggling, because I don't have my tripod. My tripod's in my office. We had a big agriculture conference in Des Moines last week, and I haven't brought all my equipment home. First time it's been out of the house since COVID. I'm sorry, Showstopper. Sorry, Showstopper. Cut that. Well, we'll just let it slide. They'll get me once. I'm a news reporter. I'm allowed to do it. Anyway, I've been down here tinkering. Don't get me wrong. I've done some car weathering, which I'm really proud of. I don't know if you guys have seen any of this. I'm going to turn the camera instead of flipping it, but hopefully you guys can see it. But this was my first attempt at weathering. Try to get in close enough for them. So, is it perfect? No. I followed JC's Rip Track. I'm going to take it off. And so I did that. It was fun. The Lisa thing was kind of funny because I hadn't graffitied it yet, and I was doing updates on my Facebook page about the work I was doing here. And Lisa happens to be the name of my wife's aunt. And every time I posted, she asked me, the steps and where I was on this. She kept asking me, where's the graffiti? Where's the graffiti? There's no graffiti. It doesn't look on and on and on. Graffiti, graffiti, graffiti. And I kept telling her, well, that's towards the end. That's one of the final steps. And so that was the first graffiti I did. And that was all hand-done graffiti with some paint pens and things like that, and some weathering pens, some fine tip pens. So, I mean, I did a lot of that stuff, and hopefully you got to see that and follow along. So, I mean, I didn't completely go out, but I felt like I lost my mojo. And a couple months ago, I was down here looking around, and I thought, this train setup is busy. Very busy. It seems like don't get me wrong, I love trains, I love it, but it has a Thomas the Tank Engine, almost a Chuggington feel for those of you who have kids and have seen Chuggington, where there's no roads, it's just railroad tracks everywhere. They've got turnouts on top of turnouts. And so I feel like I got too cluttered. I'm going to flip the camera talking about, especially right in here. I feel like I try to do too much in too little room. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a fun layout. I'm enjoying some of the running. But as you can see, I've definitely gotten, I'm going to flip back around, definitely see that I've gotten a lot more clutter. Now, there are things about it I do like, things about it I wish I had done different. Now, a lot of you are probably going to go, well, there's your thing. You can always tear it out and redo it. And that's true. In fact, it was watching one of Steve Brown's videos today that he kind of put the idea in my head to the way of thinking I'm at right now, and that is I'm going to keep going. Not because I'm willing to just settle for what I don't like. It's because this is the first layout, track work, and everything that I have completed on my own. My father helped me with my first one. He helped me with a couple other ideas, but then he passed away. And he was the one that was the hands-on, the carpentry, the wiring. He could do that stuff without even thinking about it. I'm not so hands-on like that. I wish I were. But the thing is, this is the first one I've done where I've got a loop, I've got trains running, and I'm starting to do the wiring and everything. I'm getting there. It's a slow process. But I'm going to keep going. I was on Big Bill. It's another great modeler with that group. Big Bill had me on, and that was the last thing I've really done anything in here, other than a few odds and ends projects. I'm not going to give up on it for the sake of saying I can't do it better. I know I can do it better. But I've also got a long way to go on this. I've still got a lot of things to learn how to do. Ballasting, scenery, track cleaning, wiring, switches, things like that. I've obviously had to replace parts that have failed in the middle of the layout. I've had to put new turnouts in because the old ones failed. So even though it's not exactly what I want, the biggest decision I did this was I was watching Steve Brown, and he talked about how he had this layout. His layout's amazing, the work he's doing. I really like it. Sparky's another one doing a great layout in that new building he's got. But he also tore out his Helix to put a new one in. So it wasn't quite right. And I don't want to be afraid to tear it out. But I'm also looking at this. We're in a rental house right now. This layout, unfortunately, is not going to go to the new house. Components may stay on. It's going to be built where it can be taken apart quickly. The track can be salvaged, and it's going to move. Parts of it may stay. I've built it so I can just take a piece out here and there, and the tables get unscrewed, and they can go out if they need to. But even if it doesn't, there are things I'm learning. This is my learning one before eventually we get to a permanent place in here in Iowa, and I tackle this and get what I really want. So no, it's not what I really want, but I learned some things, like the yard. Well, there's some things I would do differently. Oh yeah, there is. It's a good yard if I'm not staging. This is not a staging yard, I'm finding out. I didn't put a yard in here, and I know I should have because I got to drop off freight there in the city somewhere. I built a great passenger area that's going to be nice, but I didn't put in thought for freight. I'm sorry I'm rambling, but basically what's coming down to is I'm going to stick with this thing, and I'm going to learn. I'm going to use it to learn and work on learning to ballast and work the kinks out. I mean, obviously I look at my gravel here in the yard. Could I have done better? Yeah. I've learned some lessons. I've redone a few spots. I think I'm happy with what I've learned on track weathering, but I would have thought better to put these more all the way across. Didn't think of that. Lesson learned. There's some wiring things I wish I would have done differently. Some of the wiring underneath the bench, I'm quite happy. I was thoughtful enough ahead to organize things, but there's still room for improvement. I wish I would have done better planning on this bridgescape with the mountain, which you can see off in that corner here. I wish I would have done a better job with that. Some things, like I said, I'm proud of, and I feel confident with those skills going forward. Some things I want to learn. So I've decided that even though it's summer, it's really hot, so it's going to let me get back in here a little more. The kids' activities are actually winding down. But I'm going to focus back on when I do have time in the summer. I'm going to come in here and work, and I'm going to make this go. It's not going to be great. It's not going to be permanent because I know this is not going to be my final spot. And so for that, I'm going to take it as a learning experience. I'm going to use it to learn, and I'm going to start bringing videos back to the channel as I work on them, as a diary. Again, this has never been much of a how-to. It's been a journal about how I'm doing, what I'm doing, and a few things are how-to, but I feel like there's things I can be proud of and be very proud of, and there's things I got to work on and suck it up. But it's a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be relaxing. And I've got to get back to that. Went through a lot of issues here this last year, right before Christmas. A lot of medical issues. And quite frankly, we're doing good that Dustin's sitting here talking to you right now. But that's for another time or whatever. But I realized that I need to relax. The doctor said I need to do a lot of relaxing. And I need to do the things that bring me joy. And a hobby's supposed to bring you joy. It shouldn't frustrate you. If it's frustrating, you've got to go back and take it back and look at it and say, hey, what am I doing right? And that's what I've had to do. It's taken me some time. And it took that video today with Steve to say, you know what? As much as I was happy with this, I pulled this out and put a switch in so I didn't have to do this. Great. And that's great. I've got to learn that not everybody's is perfect. Sparky's ripped his out. Vinny, I'm sure, has done lots of things. They're all great modelers. We've all made mistakes. We've all redone things. And that's why I've just got to get that back in my mindset that this is a hobby. It's supposed to be fun. And it's not built in a day. And even though this has taken me forever to get to this part, I mean, we've been here for 3 years. Sorry about that. Been here for 3 years. I'm nowhere near done. I mean, for as much time as I take, I also hurry things. I probably could have taken my time a little more at the track. I could have taken a lot more time with track planning. But again, I knew this was a temporary thing, so we'll see what we have going forward. I'm happy with what I'm learning. And so I will take those lessons I learned, and when I eventually get to a permanent place in a couple of years, hopefully, I'll take those lessons and build my thing. Well, it's been 10 minutes of me rambling. I'm sorry to keep you guys listening to this rambling, but I am going to be back. I'm going to try to get to more chats. I feel so out of the loop. I feel like a noob again with some of those great people. And I know they never will think of me that way, but I feel like one because I've missed what's been going on so much. I realized that when I saw Tom and his wife, things going on with his wife. And Tom, if you're watching this, if you do watch this, my prayers for you and your wife. Hope everything comes out okay. But I've missed all that. But the same token, I haven't given up. I mean, I've been really taking advantage of these new Micro Machines coming out. So I've been buying Micro Machines for my layout. In fact, I'm even getting a few Easter eggs. I gotta find them now. A few Easter eggs. Like I got the Batmobile. I got the Back to the Future time machines. I even got some G.I. Joe. The next thing I gotta do is get out of my own head, though. I bought this at one of the auction paid things on Facebook, which we all know. Realize it's not DCC ready. I have to do some modifications. I have no idea what I'm getting into on this. But we'll find out sooner rather than later. But that's enough rambling. I said it before a minute ago. I was done rambling. I'm seriously done rambling. I'm going to be back. See you guys around more often, hopefully. And if I'm not there, please don't take it personally. I got a lot going on with my job. Lots changed in my job in the last 6 months. And so, yeah, it's just a lot going on. So I'll be back. Try to make more videos, try to get back into remembering this is a hobby, it's supposed to be for enjoyment, and I'm going to use this as my learning experience. And even though it's not perfect, now I know that I don't want it this busy, but I still want to have busy. So I've got to find a way to meld that, and that's my first lesson is going to be going forward when I get to a new place. But right now, just going to have fun with what I got. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys didn't get bored listening to me babble, but thanks for being supportive of the channel. Thanks for still saying hi to me when I'm around, and appreciate it, guys. Take care.